Alright, let's get started with Ollama. Open a browser and go to ollama.com and then click Download and select Download for Windows. Once downloaded, go ahead and install. With the installation complete, you're going to open a command line so you can check to see if Ollama is working. At the command prompt, type in Ollama and press Enter. Leave this window open. We'll come back to it momentarily. With Ollama installed, you'll need to select at least one LLM to use in your environment. From the Ollama webpage, you can get a list of available models by clicking in the search box at the top. When doing so, you'll see a list of the most popular models to choose from. At the time of this recording, DeepSeek is very popular, but may not be the best model for translation. For this video, I'm going to select a model specifically intended for translation. I'll start by typing in translation in the search bar. After the results are returned, you can also filter by popular and newest. You'll have to determine which model you want to use. I'm going to type in Mistral Small and select the 24B version. Click on the copy command, and then we're going to modify the line to save just a bit of time. From the command line, paste what you copied, but don't press Enter yet. Using your left arrow key, move to run, backspace over it, and type in pull. This will tell Ollama to download the model and not run it immediately. After the pull completes, you can then test to see if the model loaded by typing Ollama list from the command line. If you need to add more models, follow the same steps from the command line, which is typing in Ollama, then pull, and the model name. Now that we have Ollama and a model, it's time to install Docker Desktop. This will make it possible to use Open WebUI so we can connect to it from the Hero apps that support local translation. Head over to docker.com and then hover over Products and click Docker Desktop. There is no need to choose a plan if you're using Docker Personal, so you can scroll down to download Docker Desktop. You'll see there are two options for Windows, AMD 64 and ARM 64. If you're using either an Intel or AMD processor, choose AMD 64. Now with Docker installed, the last part of installing additional components is Open WebUI. We're going to go to the GitHub page for the command we need to download and install the necessary components. Scroll down the page until you get to the Quick Start with Docker. We're going to go with the first configuration command. If you're working with your IT team, they may have you use different ports than what's listed here. If you have an NVIDIA RTX card in your computer, you may want to consider using the option with NVIDIA GPU support. There's more involved to do this, and I'll include a tutorial link below. It may not be necessary though, depending on the model you use. Copy the link and then paste into the command window. This will download the Open WebUI components and build a Docker container so it's ready to run. Once the process finishes, we'll check to see if it's running by opening up Docker's user interface from the Windows Start menu. Now, to see your model, click the port, which will open up a web page and show the Open WebUI interface. You'll be prompted to create a username and password. This is held locally and not by Open WebUI. Once you have your credentials in, if you've used ChatGPT before, it should look similar. If the model loaded, its name will display in the upper left corner and also right above the chat bar. There are several reasons why that may not be the case, so I would go back and try the Docker steps again, as this is likely where the problem occurred. If, though, on your second attempt you're getting the same results, search on Docker Ollama models not loading for troubleshooting information. I'm going to assume that the model you chose is working, so let's look at the final steps in configuring HERO1SHOT to be able to translate locally. You'll need to get your Open WebUI API key and save it into a text file so HERO1SHOT can use it. From your browser, left-click on your name in the lower left-hand corner. Click Admin Panel. Click Settings in the main window. If necessary, click General. Check to make sure the Enable API key is turned on. Now you need to get your API key. Back in the lower left-hand corner, click your name and this time select Settings. Next, click on Account. At the bottom, you'll see API Keys. Click Show. The one that we need is the bottom API key. Click the copy icon and then open an application like Notepad so you can paste and then save the file. Be sure to note where it's saved because you'll need to provide that information in HERO1SHOT. Go ahead and launch HERO1SHOT if it isn't running, and then go to the Provider Plus settings. There are two entries we need to make. First, click the three dots, and then navigate to where the API key file you saved is located and select it. In the Open WebUI URL, enter the local host and port that you used when setting up Open WebUI in Docker. The default is HTTP localhost 3000. With the information now entered, you're ready to translate locally. Click to translate text, select your course, and then choose Open WebUI from the provider dropdown. The source and translate to languages may not be available to your model. If that's the case, update the prompt below to include the source and target languages as appropriate. If you go this route, check the box No Placeholders, enter language instructions in prompt. Be sure to select your model you're using from the dropdown. Only the models available to what you pulled for Ollama will be listed. In the next video, I'll go over installing a local text-to-speech service that uses OpenAI voices without needing to have an OpenAI key.
While you wait for the next video to start playing, why not check out the other Hero apps? Designed by an instructional designer to make e-learning development less tedious, be sure to visit Thor's Hero app YouTube channel for more information.